Hello, welcome to another session. I'm Dr. Glorious Feeling. Today I will be discussing the form N-400. This is in response to my students' and viewers' questions. The form N-400 is the application for naturalization by the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS. In case you are just joining me, you now know which form I am talking about. Please feel welcome and thank you for coming today. I will be going step by step through the pages of the form, line by line and sentence by sentence. I am doing that so that the students and viewers get a deeper understanding of the words on the form. I cannot give you any advice about the form or tell you what you should write because I am not an attorney or a counselor. Please seek help at a community-based center or get a lawyer or counselor to help you if you need advice. In my previous video, I started with page 1. On page 1, you will find the instructions, part 1, at the beginning of part 2 of the form. Please remember to type or print the form and use black ink. You might want to use another color. Please do not do that. Only use black ink. When I say type or print the form, I'm talking about using your computer to fill out the form or a typewriter. Or if you're going to use a pen and paper, make sure that it is in print format, as I've indicated with the mouse. If you use cursive or script, you will not have followed the instructions. So now let's continue with page 1. I left off having finished the instructions and I just had made it to part 1, information about eligibility. Eligibility means that someone can say yes or open the door to you for something. It means that you have met certain conditions. So part 1 asks you to select only one box for your eligibility. Otherwise, your form N-400 may be delayed. That means it will take a long time, longer than normal, because you hadn't followed the directions. Please make sure to enter your 9-digit A number, not only here but on every page. It asks for the 9-digit A number. If one of your pages is separated from the rest of your pages, someone can put the lost page back with the rest of the pages based on matching your A number with the other page's A numbers. So make sure that number is on every page. To be eligible, think of America as a house. You go over to the house for a visit and you want to go in. So you knock on the door and someone comes to the door and says, hello. And you say, I want to come in. And they say, okay, well, maybe you can come in. Maybe you can come in if you're 18 years of age or older and one of the other conditions on the list. So maybe you can come in if, letter A, you have been in the United States lawfully for 5 years. So you're 18 years old and you have lived here for 5 years lawfully and legally. That might be a reason someone says yes, opening the door, come in. That would mean you have met the eligibility requirement. Letter B, you are 18 years of age and you have been a lawful permanent resident of the United States for 3 years. And you were married and living with the same person and they were a citizen for the last 3 years. And that person has been a U.S. citizen at the time you filed your form. That's a little bit complicated, but what it means is you are married to someone. That person is a U.S. citizen. That person has been a U.S. citizen for 3 years. You have been living as a married person with them for 3 years. and at the time you filed your form, they had been a citizen for 3 years. So here we are in November of 2021. 3 years ago would be November of 2018 or 2018. So the person you're married to was a U.S. citizen in 2018. You were married in 2018 or earlier, 2017, 2016. You've been living with this person, married to them, since 2018 or earlier. That would mean the door could be open to you. So you're 18 years old and you've met that list on letter B that I just described. Both conditions should be met. Then you would be eligible, or maybe they would say, yes, the doors are open to you. Third on the list is letter C. You're 18 years old and you are a lawful permanent resident of the United States. So you've been lawfully living in the United States. And you are the spouse of a U.S. citizen. And your spouse is working somewhere away from the United States. Now this is a special case, and it's covered under the Immigration and Nationality Act, Section 319B. Sometimes people are married to American citizens, but their residential address is outside of the United States, such as with the military, for example. That's a special case. So you would have to find the place where you would like to have your interview and make sure you meet the criteria. You're 18 years old and you are lawfully in the United States. You've been married to a citizen and that person is working somewhere outside of the United States. So that could be another reason the person at the door says, yes, come in. You are eligible. Fourth on the list is letter D. You are 18 years old and you are applying on the basis of qualifying military service. So that means that you served in the U.S. military and you're 18 years old. That could be a reason that the person says, yes, come into the house. Then there's letter E, which is other, and there's a space for you to explain. There might be other circumstances that could help you to qualify to become a U.S. citizen, and that is something that you would have to ask USCIS or your attorney or counselor about. So that is part 1. And I will cover the beginning of part 2 in the next video. I want to thank you for watching. And if this video has been helpful to you, please tell your friends about it so that it can be helpful to them too.